So, one of my favorite memes is a quote from one of Jesus's most important and powerful statements. He said, "Love God and love others. The entire law can be summed up in these two commands." And then in the meme, it's immediately followed up by a Michael Scott quote, which says, "I'm going to make this way harder than it needs to be." It truly is one of those great memes because it's funny because it's true. All of us are in the business of overcomplicating things. Me personally, I overcomplicate talking. I share irrelevant information. I overexplain. I overhype. For others, they completely overcomplicate their Starbucks orders or overcomplicate their social interactions. And all of us, we overcomplicate our faith. Because of how extensive and long the Bible is, we automatically assume that following Jesus is about doing a million things right, obeying millions of rules, or praying the right way, always. Sound complicated? Sound overwhelming? Sound familiar? What if I told you that yes, the information and the truth we find in the Bible is so important, but adhering to it is much simpler than we thought? What if I told you that living out your faith and leveraging your influence can be fulfilled by simply loving each other? Paul reminded the church in Galatia of the words Jesus said when he said, "For the entire law is fulfilled in keeping this one command: love your neighbor as yourself." And the larger part of the Bible is the Old Testament is often referred to as the collection of the law and the prophets. It's the exact law that Paul is referring to right here. So if you want to keep the law of the whole Old Testament, then you can do so by doing one thing: loving your neighbor as yourself. Do you want to be influential during this time? Do you want to use your voice in this season? Do you want to make a difference in the world for the kingdom? If your answer is yes, then ask yourself this one question: what does love look like right now? Is it using social media to encourage someone? Is it reconnecting with someone you haven't talked with in a while? Is it serving your family within the confines of a quarantined home? Is it showing grace to people you disagree with? Is it shutting your mouth and opening your ears? Lord knows I need to do more of that. How can you love your neighbor as yourself right now? A better question might even be, who is a neighbor in your life that you need to love as yourself? Or even, who is a neighbor in your life that you have not loved like yourself? Then ask yourself, how can you love them right now? You see, one thing is for certain. Right now, the world is in desperate need of love. And love just so happens to be the most important commandment that you were called to obey. Don't overcomplicate it.